Hello and welcome. I am Light, and this is my podcast. And my podcast buddy is here. Hello, Rob.
Hi Trace, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm alright, thank you. Not too bad.
Good. Look at us.
Yay.
Two shiny nickels. So, I don't know if you've noticed, Rob, but our last several podcasts have been a little dark, a little
Yep,
heavy.
yep.
So, let's talk about the boogeyman today, because there's nothing dark and heavy about that. Excellent. Let's talk about the boogeyman. Um, Also known as the bogeyman. I had somebody once. I wrote bogeyman. I have a blog. Don't go looking for it, people. And um, I wrote bogeyman, and somebody wrote to me and was like, "You are an idiot. It's boogeyman." Well, no, sir, it's not. It's both. So I spelled gray on it the other day, and somebody jumped me for the way I spelled gray. Apparently, the American way to spell gray is Gray, but I've always spelled it Grey. The British way to spell gray is what, Rob?
Gray, I think. Oh no, Grey.
Yeah, yeah. So somehow, uh, somewhere in my childhood, I got messed up in that. But I did get a good old lecture. Um, do you have anything you want to tell the people, Rob?
I've got a new snake.
Yes, he does. And for those of you who have been here for a very long, long time, one of our very first podcasts, which we used to be able to do live, but then I lost my producer. We were live on a podcast with me and my oldest son and my youngest daughter and her boyfriend, who was our producer. Um, and Rob got bit by a snake on a live podcast. And for some reason, after he got rid of that to some little people travelers, he decided to go get another one. 6-foot boa, Rob?
Yeah. It's
You
a
know they're
well,
they're not they're not cut. And he got bit today already.
yeah, but it's not been looked after. It's not been looked after, and it's it's just under 6 foot. Um, he he is gonna grow big. He could grow up to sort of 15, 16, 17 foot.
Oh God,
Um,
Rob.
but
But then
that's
he only gets to stay in a cage.
no. We'll let him out. He
You're
needs.
gonna let a 15-foot boa out.
Yeah, because he'll be fed. He's not going to be roaming around the house looking for food. He'll be fed properly.
What
If
if he
we,
wants a snack?
they don't work like that.
They don't snack?
No, because you can feed them, well, rabbits, guinea pigs, pheasants, pigeons. This one's having a rat this morning, like a fully grown rat.
You're gonna let him out, and he's just gonna slither around your house. Maybe you could put a leash on him, take him to the park.
They don't slither, Trace. That is they're not wet. People think the snakes are sticky and wet. They're not. They're
No,
dry.
I know, but don't they? Isn't what they're called doing slithering? Like they use their things to push them, right? The scaly things.
Yeah, the
Isn't that
muscles they
called?
use.
Isn't that called slithering? I know they're not worm-like. I've touched snakes, unfortunately, before. Yeah, we took my youngest son when he was really little to a science museum. He was scared to touch the snake, and the guy goes, "Here, watch, your mom will touch it." Who's his mom? Whose mom belongs to this kid? Yeah, that was me. I was like, "Yeah, watch. touch it. Uh, uh. So he's a 15-foot boa is gonna just slither around your house, but he has to. If you treat him kindly and you keep him fed, then he won't bite you anymore on your head. On your head.
Yeah, once he's used to me, he'll be fine. He's used to the girls.
You
He'll be
know,
absolutely.
maybe a kitten. Maybe a kitten would have been a better. And the thing about it is, it was an impulse buy. Like you were like $20.
Well, it's
I'll
not.
take this
That's
deadly animal.
that's not necessarily true because I've got the weekend to try him out,
Oh yeah.
and then if on Monday or Sunday or Monday that I feel that he's not going to fit in, then they'll take him back.
Am I wrong? Do you own mice as well?
Yeah, but yes, I do own mice. Two baby, no, they're not baby mice anymore, and they are not going to be part of the menu.
Okay. Can a snake smell them? Like, does he feel like he's in a what's it called? What are they called? Tank next to a restaurant right now?
Well, yeah, because on top of his tank there's a defrosting rat.
Oh my lord. Did you buy the rat?
No, they were given to me. Two of them were given to me.
Oh, that's lovely. Are they sealed in plastic, or you just pick up the tail and here's your rat?
They come in plastic. They're frozen, and then you defrost them overnight, and then you have to dip. Once it's defrosted, you get the jug of hot water. You dip the head in hot water,
Huh?
so because they can sense the heat and they think it's still alive. And
Oh,
you put the. I'm going to use tongs to put it into the cage. I'm not going to use my hand.
that's a good idea.
And it strikes so quickly, it's unbelievable. And it curls itself around the it'll curl itself around the rat, and basically it crushes its bones, and then it eats it, and it takes a couple of weeks to digest.
I wish you could see my face right now. Oh God, that's not my favorite thing. I like kittens.
Chase,
Yeah,
what's happened?
I don't know what happened.
Hello,
Can you not hear me, Rob?
what's going on?
Can you hear me?
You disappeared for a second. I can hear
Oh,
you
I
now.
I have no idea what happened. Maybe I faded. Okay, well, I like kittens. Uh, I'm gonna stick to the dog and cat variety of cuddly pets.
Okay.
He will cuddle you though, right? Like he'll wrap himself around you until you can't breathe. Come give Daddy a hug. Okay. Anyway, why don't we let's. Oh yeah. By the way, if you are not enthralled by this content so far, just stick around. Please subscribe
Yep,
and
hit that like button.
please hit that like button. Um, about 75% of the people who watch my videos are not subscribed. People, what's happening here? Go ahead. It's free. You can go ahead and click that subscribe button, and I won't call you. Probably. Rob might. Rob might call you, but I won't. Right, Rob?
Why, why am I call them?
Well, I don't know. I just don't want them to be afraid of me.
Okay.
Okay, Rob, I'm going to give you a list of words that are synonyms of the boogeyman. Okay? Are you ready?
Yeah.
And this is
Yeah.
not demons, so I feel fairly safe in this, Rob.
Okay.
I'm not reading off 120 names of demons. Probably never do that again, Rob.
No.
Okay. Are you? Oh no.
What?
I lost the page. Just give me a minute. I'm so stupid. Oh. Okay, here we go. Here we go, my friend. Banshees, which I don't know about that. Demon or devil, which I also wouldn't say that the demon or devil is a boogeyman. Would you?
No.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. I met my fair share of demons, unfortunately. Okay, a fiend, a ghoul, an imp, an incubus. Isn't incubus that uh thing that like
Yeah.
okay. It has a relationship with you for a little while.
Yeah.
Okay. An apparition, a ghost, a phantasm, a phantom, a poltergeist, a shade, a specter, a spirit, a spook, a wraith, a fright, a horrible, a horror, a monster, monstrosity, a terror, a bête noire, black beast, bogey, boogaboo, bugbear, dread, hobgoblin, ogre, bane, curse, enemy, plague, scourge, torment, abomination, anathema. I know somebody who named their child Bane, and
That's out the Batman film.
huh?
That's probably out the Batman film.
Yeah, well, yeah, maybe. But I was like, that just before she had the baby, I was like, that means like the bane of my existence, like the thorn in your side. But maybe that's how she saw him. I don't know, but I don't really think that these are synonyms for the boogeyman.
No, they're just
Monster
describing
names.
everything, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah. Um, bef- Before we get started on the boogeyman stories, I have something to tell you, Rob.
Well then.
Remember we were talking about the movie Babadook?
Mm.
Now, did you say you did see Babadook or you didn't?
I think I did. I'm not sure if we're on about the same film.
A woman, her kids move into a house. She's just she's just lost her son to he died, and then they find this book, um, and it says, if it's in a word or in a look, you can't get rid of the Babadook.
Is it like I? Is it an Australian film?
Mm, like Australian, like would it have Australian actors?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Let me check that out real fast for you.
It
Let's
was
see.
filmed and made in Australia with Australian actors.
Let me check this for you, okay?
Because if it
Um,
was, then I have seen the film.
oh, Essie Davis. She, I think Essie Davis is Australian.
Because if
Yeah,
it
it
is,
looks to me like they are. Yeah.
yeah, I told you about the film.
Oh, you did? Oh, that might be true. It came out in 2000, like
It was
17 or something. Anyway, yeah, You always tell me about this, Gary. Oh, it came out in 2014.
yeah, it's getting on a bit now.
Okay, so I thought the Babadook was like a boogeyman, but it's not. Apparently, apparently, uh, I didn't look deep enough into this movie. Apparently, I just watched it as kind of like a scary movie when it's not supposed to be. I guess it's about the Babadook is actually supposed to be a metaphor for depression, anxiety, postpartum depression, any kind of like um, mental unwellness that is like that. That's what the Babadook embodies. So it's not real in the movie. It is their anxiety and their depression that is manifesting itself.
Hmm.
I didn't read that deep into it. I Now it's probably not as scary. I thought it was good scary till like the end of it.
Hmm.
Um but yeah. By the way, my son is in the background. So if you hear that, that's him streaming. Sorry about that. Um anyway, so I just thought I'd put that out there for those of you who watched the Babadook and were like me and just thought it was a creepy kind of scary movie. No. It's about depression. Did you know that, Rob?
No, never heard that fact before. But I can see where they're coming from to some degree. But
Yeah, but I guess because they found the book and they were reading the book, like the knock 3 times and that kind of stuff. You know what? Hold on a minute. I'm going to communicate with my child.
and where has she gone? Is she back?
Okay,
Yeah.
I went to threaten him with a boogeyman. It was actually his idea to do this, to do a boogeyman podcast. Well, actually, something he said gave me the idea. Okay, so Rob, do we or do we not have some boogeyman tales to tell?
Yeah, we do. We certainly do.
Okay, so let's do that. The first one you're going to tell is about England. If you don't mind, after you tell your first one, I'm going to go to the other page that they have the other English boogeyman tales. Is that okay?
Yeah, you can do. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
it's all the English-speaking countries and their definition of the boogeyman, like Tracy was saying, bugbear, bogey, whatever, different names, is a
Mhm.
shadowy ghost that hides in dark places in order to frighten unsuspecting victims. He's more of a nuisance than a danger, and his power is easily neutralized by a bright light. So that's why a lot of children think that he's hiding under the bed.
Ah, or in your closet, or in your
Yeah,
head.
but would you see? This is where we might differ from other normal parents.
Okay.
If I, if one of my children said there was something hiding in the wardrobe or the closet or whatever,
Uh,
I don't know whether I would say, "Look, there's nothing, there's no such thing as monsters," or would I say, "You're safe here," kind of thing.
uh,
There's no, because there are. I believe that there are such things as monsters, and I'm like, do they need to know? What do you know? Do they need to know that, or is that just being cruel?
well, I made monster spray.
Well, that's a good idea.
I put water with a little bit of peppermint oil into a little spray bottle and gave that to them. So they could, if they were afraid, they could just spray the monster spray, and then that was age appropriate.
Yeah.
So, what this is an interesting turn in conversation. What monsters do you believe in? Like Bigfoot, you mean?
Well, yeah, Bigfoot. Um, all the cryptids that, other than the ridiculous cryptids like the Mothman, but yeah, and I think there are there are monsters. There are,
Human
children
monsters
can.
too.
Pardon?
Human monsters as well.
Well, yeah, human monsters as well. But I mean, when the kids were younger, I I would they would always have a cross in their room, and
Uh,
I would always say to them, well, while that cross is there, nothing can happen to you because Jesus is going
oh.
to protect you and it's safe. So that was my spray. That was my monster spray.
Uh. See, now I think that. Mm,
Well,
interesting.
what? Go on, be honest.
This is exactly like our conversations. See, now I would not go that route because things do happen to children, and then would your child then think Jesus didn't protect them, didn't look after them, or what if something happened to your child? Not like just like I don't know, somebody broke their window or something, and it was like they thought they heard somebody tapping on the window, whatever, and then would they think that you were BSing them? But this is coming from a mother who's when their kids found out that Santa Claus wasn't real, that every one of them was mad because then Jesus wasn't real either. Because they hadn't seen Santa Claus, they hadn't seen Jesus. Good job, mom. So maybe it's only my kids that are, you know, think like that. But what if something had happened? Not that didn't hurt, didn't they didn't die or anything, obviously. But how would you explain that?
Well, I always told the girls, I still do tell the girls, because they're not of a great age yet. That if something scares them at night, they come and wake me, and we'll deal with it.
Right.
Now, I would never dismiss them and just say, "Oh, just go back to sleep. It's nothing," because
No, 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 no.
because something has scared them, or something, whether it's a bad dream or
Yeah.
maybe something has scared them, whether it be something under the bed, maybe they like I just said, they've had a bad dream. But at the end of the day, I think just dismissing them is wrong, completely wrong.
Well, absolutely.
So yeah,
Absolutely. Well, the majority of adults will not sleep with their foot off the bed. We still think there's a monster under there.
well, yeah,
I my my husband, I've said this 100 times, leaves the closet door open and then gets in bed like a crazy man. Like, what kind of psycho leaves the closet door open and gets in bed? I'm always like, shut the closet. You don't know what's coming out of there. Yeah, I do. Some old jeans, couple of winter jackets. I just, I won't. If I wake up and my foot is off the bed, I get that feeling, and most adults will have that same thing in their head still. I think it's really interesting because that is one of the boogeyman things that we just maybe don't ever grow out of, and why?
it's primal, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's primal.
yeah. If you were sleeping in a cave way back when, you wouldn't have stuck your feet out of the cave, right?
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah, it is. It's primal. You're right. And I think it's primal to make okay, so your child's afraid of something. They have a gut feeling that something's under their bed. That's what it is, being afraid of something. I can remember having that gut feeling that something's under my bed. And whenever I watch a movie and the kid bends over to look underneath their bed, I that to me that is really scary. Because that I never would have done that. Because I mean, we've all seen that movie right now, right? You're
Yeah,
gonna see something. You're not gonna see it under the bed, but when you come out, there it is. Um, it is this primal. That's what's we can't see. We feel it in our gut. So I wonder if that's why we've told boogeyman stories over the centuries to make it more palatable. You know, like a fairy tale
yeah,
to explain away something that's in our gut as a kid.
yeah.
Hmm. Interesting. Well, let me tell you about some other British boogeyman thingamajigs. Okay, so here we go. England. In East Yorkshire, children were warned that if they stole from orchards, they might be eaten by a goblin or a demon called Odd Goggy. Odd Goggy?
Not heard of that.
Yorkshire children were also warned that if they were naughty, the great black bird would come and carry them away.
Not heard of that one either.
In Devon, local variations of Spring-Heeled Jack
Heard of
included
Spring-Heeled
you,
Jack.
you have included a boogeyman that danced in the road and leapt over hedges with the greatest of ease.
Well, can I just jump in for a second?
Hmm.
They used to call Jack the Ripper Spring-Heeled Jack.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was
Hmm.
one of the names that they gave Jack the Ripper.
Well, there were reported sightings in North Devon of Spring-Heeled Jack, and locals described haunted stretches of road in the South Devon towns of St. Mary Church and Torquay. Torquay, is that what it's
Oh, just
called?
on the
Yeah, that's right
Torquay,
by you,
yes.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
And that began in the 1840s, those sightings.
I remember him well.
Did he come to your birthday party?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I didn't bring me a present at the time yet.
There's also the gooseberry wife, was said to guard gooseberry bushes on the Isle of Wight, and
Isle of Wight, yeah.
took the form of a large hairy caterpillar. Okay, the churn milk peg in West Yorkshire was a female goblin who guarded nut thickets until they could be harvested, and would always be seen smoking a pipe. Melch Dick was her male counterpart and performed the same function. Did you ever hear of Melch Dick or churn milk peg? No.
No.
Tom Dawkin had iron teeth that he used to devour bad children. It is amazing that children in general grow up and we're not all psychopaths, right? Getting told
Yeah.
these kinds of stories all the time, like Black Annis. I'm gonna say it's Annis. Was a hag with a blue face and iron claws who lived in a cave in the Dane Hills of Leicester. Leicester? That
Lanarkshire.
Leice? Like
Yeah,
like
it's in Scotland.
she ventured forth at night in search of children to devour. Grindylow, Jenny Greenteeth, and Nellie Longarms were grotesque hags who lived in ponds and rivers and dragged children beneath the water if they got too close. What is that? La Lorena?
Oh,
Is that
what's
is
that,
that
sorry?
what isn't that what La Lorena does?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you guys have your own La Lorena. Peg Powler is a hag who inhabits the River Tees.
To
Other
Newcastle.
other nursery bogies include Mum Poker, Tanger Bogus, who drags children into his deep, dark pit, and Tom Poker, who lives in dark closets and holes under the stairs. So there you go, Rob.
See, I like to believe, and I've read about this a lot, All legends are based on fact. Now, I'm not saying that every one of these that we're talking about is real, but there must be some kind of there must be something there to to make all these, because they're all very similar.
Mm-hmm.
They're all very, very similar.
Well, that's what I was saying. That's why I wonder. Like every civilization has a version of the boogeyman. So, um, why is that? Is that a is that a what'd you call it? You know,
Um, Coincidence?
no, is that built in us?
Yeah,
But you said I was throwing the word around like confetti a few minutes ago, and
primal.
I can't remember. Primal. Thank you. All right. Do you want to do your next one?
Yeah, just let me get the glasses back on.
Okay.
Right, this is from the Netherlands. Other places are Belgium and Germany, and I'm never ever going to be able to say this word.
Bonkenreigers.
Bocken,
Yeah, my great grandma's German.
Bockenriders, Bockenriders,
Bonkenreigers. Jers. Bonkenreigers.
Bockenriders. Yeah,
Yeah.
the what Tracy just said, or the book riders, are ghost thieves who ride flying. Now this might be made up.
Maybe. I don't
I've got an idea. I've got an idea. This might be made up.
know.
I don't know what it is. I'll let
It
you decide.
just doesn't smell right, does it, Rob?
These are ghost thieves who ride flying goats. They are a legend created by actual bands of thieves in the 18th century to intimidate and terrorize local farming communities. Yeah,
Okay. In Germany, also, Bootsman. Netherlands, Scandinavia. The Bootsman is a faceless goblin or ghost shrouded in a cloak. He hides in dark corners under the bed or in his closet. No, in your closet. And attacks children who stay up past their bedtime. See, this might have been one to get kids to go to bed on time, Rob. Shh. His name either comes from Middle German Botzen, to make a racket, or Verbutzen, to conceal or disguise. Today, he's most famous for the silly children's song Estance en Biba Bootsman. Is it really that famous? Which was
yeah,
originally about a poltergeist with rattling bones and a scythe. That's such a awesome, silly song, isn't it?
yay!
Yay! Let's sing it before we go to bed. Okay, you're up.
Oh, hang on. I'm looking at the picture of that. Right in Spain, the sack man.
The sack man. Hombre del saco.
Most of Southern Europe and Latin America. An ugly gaunt man, Hombre del Saca, is said
Hombre.
to kidnap
Hombre.
Hombre,
Hombre.
um, Hombre del Saca, is said to kidnap naughty children in broad daylight and carry them away in his sack.
Like Santa, but not.
Yeah, depending on regional variants. He either sells children or eats them. In some cultures, a figure like Sackman works as Saint Nicholas's evil
Oh,
sidekick,
what is that? What's that, guys?
Krampus.
Krampus. He's Krampus. Oh, I got you. Okay. All right. So the next one is Russian Baba Yaga, a witch with a deep and powerful connection to the forest. She lives in a hut that stands on giant chicken legs. She rides around. I just want to tell you something, Rob. I think this one is suspicious. Okay. I'm not sure it's true. She rides around in a flying mortar and carries a giant pestle. Ambivalent towards humans, she is just as likely to help you as to eat you. Baba translates as woman, while Yaga may derive from the Proto Slavic word for serpent, but sounds similar to the Polish Jezda, Jezda, which is a witch. Serbo-Croatian. I feel like I'm on candid camera right now. Serbo-Croatian Jeza, which means horror, and Old Church Slavonic Jeza, which means disease. I okay. She doesn't sound friendly.
And the picture, she's either got really bad bags under her eye or she's got a black eye.
Yeah, she's not that good. She does have a wart at the end of her nose. She's a
Yeah,
witch.
yeah. Right, here we go. You'll have to say this for me as well, Trace. Hawa,
I would say it's Ha'awa Hawa.
that's the one. Algeria, a truly, a truly terrifying. Sorry. I'm just looking at the picture. A monster truly terrifying. It's described
Yeah, that's
with
about it.
having a body composed of different animal parts and eyes that are blobs of flaming spit. To top it off, his coat is made up from clothes of the many children he has eaten.
It looks like he has a parrot head.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's okay, Rob. I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I don't think this one's real.
Yeah,
So he's a chimera.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I really love the whole concept of chimeras for some reason. I think we should have more of them. I don't know if we have any, but okay. So Tokalash, which is in South Africa, are water sprites who do the bidding of evil wizards. They can become invisible by drinking water and cause all sorts of mischief. You can protect yourself from them whilst you sleep by placing a brick beneath each leg of your bed and banishing them for good, which will require the help of a witch doctor. And he looks like what are those the monsters that you can't give water after midnight?
A gremlin.
He looks like a gremlin. He's cute. He doesn't look that scary to me. You're next, my friend.
Grumampa. Gurampa from Nepal. The Gurampa, grandpa, is a is a man eating is a man eating hang on. It's a man eating giant with large protruding fangs. Although he loves the taste of children, he can be reasoned with, and today enjoys the annual tribute. I thought that said something else.
You don't judge.
In exchange for not eating local, he enjoys the annual tribute feast in exchange for not eating local kids.
Well, that's nice. That's nice of him. He looks like a caveman. Wee Wee Gomble, Indonesia. This vengeful spirit of a woman. Why are they so? Why am I getting all these women? The vengeful spirit of a woman whose broken heart drove her to suicide, as they do.
As you do,
Unlike the
yeah.
usual boogeyman, the wee wee gumbo kidnaps children in order to save them from bad parents. She lovingly cares for them in her nest atop a palm tree, refusing to return them until the parents repent for their abusive or neglectful ways. Well, she's enjoyable.
Yeah.
There ain't nothing wrong with that.
Crazy.
You're next, my friend.
Oh, here we go. Namahanja.
I think it must be Namahagi.
Namahaji, yeah. Because it's Japanese, isn't it?
Yeah.
These ogres go from door to door on New Year's Eve looking for children who have misbehaved that year. They are more than happy to unburden parents. I've come to unburden you.
Come to take a load off.
Yeah. Oh, come on, kids. Come on. You're being unburdened.
Does someone knock on the door? Quick, kids, answer the door. Finally, we waited all year for this.
Take them presents back. We get the receipts.
Yeah, maybe they should come before Christmas.
Yeah, let's go buy a load of sake.
Oh my gosh.
So they've come to unburden parents by taking away children who are lazy, insolent, or simply just cry too much.
Oh, thank God.
Their name comes from their famous refrain. Oh, I can't read that.
Well, no. It's
I'll read
Japanese.
Japanese. All right. Meaning blisters healed yet. Blisters healed yet. Meant to insult people who lazily sit by the fire all day.
Well, I'm not sure this one's a bad guy, Rob.
Yeah. Oh, we're in America. That's felt good for you.
We're in America. Okay. The Jersey Devil in New Jersey, USA, also known as the Leeds Devil, a dragon-like creature with a strange amalgam of animal parts. Oh, he's a chimera. Chimera. I just threw a southern accent in there. Hard. Of and blood-curdling scream. According to the legend, this boogeyman was the 13th child of the terribly unlucky Mother Leeds in 1735. Ever since, it has been terrorizing those foolhardy enough to venture into the pine barrens at night. It's like a ram and a bat and I don't know what else. Horse thing?
You're supposed to have the head of a horse, aren't they?
Yeah, I guess so, but I don't know what that head looks like.
You see, now that might be crazy, but would you go camping in the pine barrens at night?
I don't know.
Exactly. Now you wouldn't, would you? You just wouldn't do it.
No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. Let other people do that. I wouldn't go camping in national parks either. People do.
Yeah.
All right, you get Mexico. We know who this is.
La Llorona. You say
La
that.
La La Llorona.
La Llorona.
Yeah.
Mexico. Mexico.
Mexico.
This bogeyman is actually the ghost of a woman who drowned her children in order to be with the man who ultimately spurned her.
Oh, I didn't realize. As many times as we've done La Llorona, I didn't realize that she drowned her kids to be with some man who didn't want them.
Yeah.
Oh, where was I?
Destitute. I don't know.
Hmm.
Destitute. She drowned herself, but she is barred from ever entering heaven until she finds her children. At night, she wanders along the riverbanks looking for them, crying, "Oh, my children, oh, my children," and snatching any child she makes and makes them, hang on, and snatching any child she makes for her own. Like the Irish banshee, yep, the and the lady in white as well, isn't it? Hear her cry is considered a death omen. I know that if you go to Ireland, this banshee is they really believe in it.
Do they?
Really, they don't joke about it. If you go out and hear what sounds like a scream, they really take it seriously.
Well, in the I almost said Himalayas. Where'd that come from? In the what are those mountains, Rob? Help me. I'm choking. Can you think of the word? Eastern United States.
The not the Andes. Rockies. No.
That's Western. Oh, come on. You know the oh, you guys. Everybody
Appalachian.
beneath is Appalachian, except for I think they call them Appalachian. They take that shit seriously. Like you stay in your house at night. You don't go walking in the woods. If if you hear somebody call your name, you don't. If you hear somebody whistle, you don't whistle back. Um, if you hear a scream, you didn't hear anything. And they take that seriously. They very seriously, which also is one of those things that leads back to, you know, starting it is there a truth that this all started in? Is there some truth to this? Because I mean, everybody believes in it. It's not just those wackos over there. No, it's everybody.
I
So,
mean,
is there some background to this? Because this is generations and generations and generations of people who will swear to you that there are things out in the woods. I watched this video on YouTube. This woman, is a park ranger, and she got assigned to this cabin way out in the middle of Appalachians. And it was just a tiny little cabin. And she would film it. She's a park ranger.
yeah,
So, you know, I would think somebody who is qualified to do this and isn't a nut job. Um, she would film the sounds of the screaming outside of her cabin at night, screaming. And I know that some animals can sound like they're screaming, like when they're in heat and stuff,
yeah.
like
Foxes.
coyotes. Yeah,
Yeah,
foxes. Yeah, coyotes have a weird it's weird.
yeah.
But I know that they can have some weird screaming. But this is a park ranger, so I'm assuming she knows about these things and knows that that's not what it is. And then things bang on the outside of her tiny little cabin. And she's got like two wood. You put you would have a hook on either side of the door, and you'd put a 2x4 in to keep it
Yeah,
locked. Yeah, she's
yeah,
got two of those on there. It came with it.
yeah.
Now it came that way because she started filming as soon as she went out there because it was her new job, and so she started filming and didn't talk about like any of this stuff. Just one night she started filming in the middle of the night, and she's like, "Oh my god, what is happening?" And yeah, I guess welcome to the Appalachians.
Well, when I used to go to Dove Stones, other than the time I saw a UFO, I used to go really early in the morning. I'd get there for say 5 o'clock in
Yeah.
the morning,
Yeah.
and I would be the only person there.
Mhm.
And sometimes getting in the winter, it would still be dark, and it would get lighter once I'd been there an hour or two. I could guarantee you'd be walking. You could walk next to the pathway round. The they they'd taken and made a pathway through the woods, and it is a strange, strange sensation when you're on your own, but you can guarantee you feel like you're being watched.
I don't like that.
Yeah,
I don't enjoy that. Hmm.
and but it'd be
Well, lots of weird things do happen there.
yeah, yeah, that's true. But yeah, it is. Like you saying about that woman. I think I've actually heard the tapes actually.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's scary. And to be out there by herself, I don't care if you're a man or a woman. It's really irrelevant in how I would feel. It would be unnerving at best. I I don't know. I don't know how you would keep that job. After that, I wouldn't even want to go out in the day. She has to wander around in the woods and go down to like rivers and stuff. That's her job. I don't know about that. I think I'm gonna quit and go to. I'm not gonna go to a national park. I was gonna say go to a national park. No, maybe just don't
I
become
presume
that.
she would be armed, wouldn't she?
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, she's armed, but I mean,
Yeah,
if
but against what?
still, yeah,
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 that's the thing. Like what? If she thought it was humans, like people out there just jacking with her, um, which she clearly didn't think it was. And they were like the whatever it was trying to get into her door, and oh god, that to me just do if you made a movie out of just that would be a horror movie to me.
they did, didn't they?
I did.
Blair Witch.
Oh well, yeah, but they didn't do it right.
No, they didn't.
Could have been much. First off, they didn't have a script, so every other word out of their mouth was f this and f that, and that really doesn't make good dialogue. So because they didn't have a script, it just you didn't get the. But they really were out there scaring them. That was the good part. They didn't know where they were going to be or what they were going to find. That would be
Yeah,
scary.
yeah,
They could have done that movie so much better. It could have been so much better. I mean, give them a script, then actually really scare them. Make them say the script while they're like losing it.
yeah,
That could have been better. The only part of that movie that I thought was scary was at the very end, walking down the stairs and seeing their friend with his face in the corner with the little
yeah,
handprints on the wall. That was, you know, interestingly enough, I did a video on that. It's based on a true story.
yeah,
They did find a bunch of people killed on a rock out in the middle of the woods. They were just going for a day hike and been talking about the legend of this witch, and they were like put in a circle or something, arranged some way. Anyway, no, thank you. Okay, so Tata Duende is in Belize, a small bearded goblin with no thumbs. Oh, so he's can't do much, and backwards feet. Again, Rob, what do you think? Who is said to be the guardian of the forest animals. Parents warn their children that if they stay outside after dark, seems to be a common theme, they or wander into the jungle, Tata Duende will get them. His name translates into Papa Goblin. Sounds lovely.
yeah. One of your
Just
friends, little bit.
lovely. Yeah. Yeah, he is.
The thing is, with feet like that, you just don't know whether he's coming or going.
He doesn't either. He doesn't either. He doesn't know. And he can't open cans. He has a hard time without his thumbs. Although they do show a thumb in the picture, so that's interesting. Um. Okay, before we do these two, is it okay if I do the one that's about the Inuits?
Yeah, because it's
Okay, because we gotta wrap this up. Okay. In Inuit mythology, and here's something interesting: Inuits are a different. They have completely different DNA than we do.
do they?
Yeah, yeah. Their community has completely different DNA markers than the rest of us do. Is that interesting?
Yeah.
I think it is. There is a shape-shifting creature called. Let's call it Ijirak. I don't speak Inuit, but I'm going to say it's called Ijirak. That kidnaps children to hide them away and abandon them. If the children can convince Ijirak to let them go, they can use Inukshuk of stone to find their way home. Also from Inuit mythology, there is a Qualopaluk, which are human-like creatures with long fingernails, green skin, and long hair that live in the sea. That's interesting considering they, get a lot of their food from the sea. They carry
Yeah.
babies and children away in their amati if they disobey their parents and wander off alone. The Kwapulik adopt the children and bring them to live with them underwater.
That's a bit
That's
spooky.
yeah, that is spooky. To think that it goes clear back into Inuit mythology, that's a long, long time.
Yeah.
So here's French Canadian Quebec. The boogeyman is called Bonhomme Sept Hours. Means 7 o'clock man. If you don't go to bed by 7 o'clock, guess who you're gonna meet? 7 o'clock. Okay, a little early. Anyway, um, I think it's interesting that they have one in French. The French equivalent of the boogeyman is Le Croque Mitaine, which means the mitten biter, or it can mean the hand cruncher. Mitaine means mitt in an informal way. Well, that's fun. Mitten biter, La Croque Mitaine. I'm trying to find some. Yeah, I think that's gonna do it.
Yeah.
This has been fun, actually.
Yeah, it's been alright, hasn't it? It's flowed pretty good and nice and
Yeah, yeah, this is fun. This is lighter than um, John Wayne Gacy and mental health.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
it's been
think.
nice going back down the paranormal route. Not done
Yeah,
that
it's
for a while.
fun. Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, thank you for doing this with me.
So thank you. It's always a pleasure, never a chore.
Thank you, sir. You guys, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. And Rob, good morning.
Good morning, good night, wherever you
Good
are.
night. Bye.
See you guys.